going on, folks? And yes, this is another episode of Just My Opinion with Ryan. Thank you all so much for joining yet again. If this is your first time here, please hit that like and subscribe. Also hit that notification, or that bell button, to get notified when we drop new episodes. And yes, man, let's get into it. Let me give a round of applause. Round of applause to Carlton in this most recent Bel Air episode. If this was a football or a basketball game, you got to give Carlton the player of the game in that sense. We're going to dissect everything about it, but I want to get that out the way. Of course, I still have my doubts about Carlton. I'm sure, some other type of shady stuff might come from him, but at least for this episode, I got to give him player of the game, player of the episode, MVP of the episode, whatever you want to call it. Carlton needs to get the MVP. So you know what? I know it might be all over the place, but let's go into that first. I think what Carlton did was so huge. Of course, if you don't know by now, spoiler alert. But nah, man, I felt like Carlton came through in two key settings. After Vivian and her sister got into that bitter argument over, in Will's birthday, which was very, very petty to bring up y'all personal beef, on someone else's highlight or their birthday. But yeah, I thought it was very dope how the writers, they show Carlton going to his mom first and, just highlighting the fact that, it was Vivian's sister who's always been the strong, that strong person. And it reminds me of that saying, check on your strong friends, and that's very true, and throughout this episode, you see how, I think her name was V. I'll put that in the edits, but I think Vivian's sister's name was V in this episode. But nevertheless, the sister was always, she made it clear, I was the one who had to take care of mom by myself while you went ahead and chased your dream. I'm the one who paid for you to chase your dream when it came to being an artist. I bought you your first set of art tools. I think she even said she helped her, pay her way through college or, whatever type of school to learn about art. And it wasn't until Carlton, brought up the fact that she's always been doing stuff alone. She's been that strong, family member, but who's checking on her at times? So I thought that was very dope. And side note, for what it's worth, she even admitted to Will that, she was paying for a lot of the deadbeat dad's mistakes. He had all these get rich quick schemes that always fell through, and she was always left paying the tab for what it sounds like. So, I really enjoyed this episode because I think I enjoyed the whole series, period. But this episode was, just like all the other ones, was just so dope. And I just like the fact that, they're just talking about some serious real life issues, and to the point of, who's checks on your strong friend, who, just some type of sibling rivalry, which can happen, the older you get amongst siblings and things of that nature. So I thought that was just a key episode. And you just don't know how much type of resentment or hurt that people hold inside for years. So anyway, I thought that was really dope. And just to still be on the Carlton bandwagon, at least for this episode, like I said, I still got my doubts. And he also was, even though I think it's trash, I think what Will did is trash. How you gonna go after Carlton's ex, being Lisa? But I thought it was also big of Carlton to be like, hey man, yes, that's my ex. Yes, it does hurt. Like, they had an honest conversation. Yes, that's my ex. Yes, it still hurts that you're with my ex. But you know what? Just treat her better than I did. She's been through a lot of pain. I put her through a lot of stuff. And I gotta say, that was very big of Carlton. So hopefully this, who knows? Maybe we'll see like wrestling. Maybe the heel becomes a more, not a hero, but maybe the heel in Carlton's case becomes a more likable character. So we'll see, man. I'm hoping that's the case. I thought that was a good episode, man. Also, let's get into Will. I thought it was very dope. And I don't think it's a spoiler alert or any type of hot take. I think they're definitely setting us up for that one serious moment on the original Fresh Prince of Bel Air, where Will Smith finally met his father and the father ran out on him, and he had that emotional scene with Uncle Phil, rest in peace James Avery. They're definitely setting up for that scene. And being that this is already a drama, who knows how serious this is going to be. But they're clearly setting this up. Who knows, maybe it'll be later on in the season, maybe a season finale type of thing, or who knows, maybe we'll see Will's father come into his life in season 2. But that's clearly definitely coming. And I definitely feel like they're setting us up for that one. They're trying to recreate that one iconic, not one, but they're trying to recreate that particular iconic moment from the original series. So that's definitely something to look into. I like the what's the word I'm looking for? I like the conflict that Jeffrey is facing. You know, we definitely need a spinoff. Just like how Power has a spinoff, we definitely need a spinoff on some of these Bel Air characters, because clearly Jeffrey has a son his damn self. You know, when him and Uncle Phil had that talk, sparring or whatnot, Jeffrey was like, hey man, it's Will's right to know who his dad is, and Jeffrey even says, hey, I have a kid myself, what if I never met my kids, things of that nature. So it raises questions like, yeah, Jeffrey is this cool ass dude, this gangster dude, this James Bond type of level dude, but all right, well, you got a son, but you stay at the Banks residence. When do you get time to see your son? So hopefully Jeffrey's not the deadbeat as well. Hopefully it's nothing like that to where he's sympathizing for Lou. Lou's the name of Will Smith's dad in this thing. Hopefully he doesn't empathize with Lou on that level, because hopefully Jeffrey's not deadbeat himself. But anyway, yeah, Jeffrey's conflicted because he feels like Will Smith clearly has a right to know who his dad is. Uncle Phil is like, I don't care about all that. You work for me. You make sure that Lou stays away from Will at all costs. And then, more of a plot twist, Will Smith comes to Jeffrey personally and is like, hey, I need you to look into my father for me. And clearly, because there was some conflict between Uncle Phil and Jeffrey, he clearly was about to quit. He clearly was about to drop off the resignation letter until Uncle Phil hit him with until Will hit him with the, hey man, I need help finding out who my dad is. So, I'm loving this. I don't even know how many episodes this first season is going to have. I know this was recently episode 8. So who knows? Maybe they'll give us 10 episodes for this first season. Hopefully they're like 10 episode seasons. But I thought that was very dope. And let's just briefly get into some other issues that I just love how they touch on, like these real life issues. One of the things that I think a lot of social media influencers or influencers or YouTube influencers, even not social media, YouTube, I think just any type of celebrity or public face or something, they probably face this issue every day. But what Hilary is going through, she doesn't want to do the whole thirsty chef thing anymore. It really stuck with her in her head about what her mom said. Like, hey, but is this thirsty chef thing, is that really who you are? And Hilary knows deep down that's not who she really is. She's really just a legit, masterful cook, masterful chef or whatnot, specializing in like all these nice spices and soul food things. And so it's like she knows this whole thirsty chef thing isn't her lane. And she's clearly wants to back out of that, and I feel like a lot of people face those types of things all the time. It's like, how much is, what is your integrity worth? Like are you willing to act like someone who you're truly not, just for the look? And no, I'm not talking about what actors do. Of course they pretend to be people every day, but I mean, are you willing to compromise certain morals that you have about yourself just because it's a good look? I hate to even bring this up, but like a better example for what I'm talking about, when Jerry Rice did the Popeyes commercial, that was kind of a cringe look for me from the outside looking in. Mary J. Blige did the whole chicken commercial for, what was it, Burger King? That was definitely cringe worthy for me. It's like, I don't, from the outside looking in, once again, just my opinion, I don't think, they know that those things don't really represent who they are. True. That's why, if I'm not mistaken, I think that Mary J. Blige commercial had a very quick run. Like, okay, this was a bad decision on my part. Let me please take this commercial down, whatever the case is. So you get my point. It's like, do you really want to, jeopardize who you really are just for the bag, just for this look on, just for popularity, whatever the case is? Are you willing to really sacrifice things of who you really are in order to do some other things? So I thought that was really dope, man. And one thing I think was lacking was Ashley. I know they briefly showed Ashley in this episode, but I would like to see more of Ashley. I want to see where her storyline goes some more. I mean, granted, she's the youngest of the house, so it's not like she has as many issues going on like everybody else, but what she does have going on is important. She's, discovering her sexuality. She knows that she likes women, things of that nature. And although she's 12, I think that's important for young people to look at. Not saying that shows and TV should be their example, but if the youth is watching shows like this, it would be good for something like that to reach out and resonate to some people. So I thought that was very dope, man. I'm not trying to show any bias or anything just because it's an all-black cast, but I can't name a bad episode yet on season 1 of this. So I'm liking the direction this is going. I'm just hoping they keep pushing, for the sake of just the type of, morale throughout the household and the family. Hopefully Carlton can keep making this, upward trajectory, and in terms of going from a heel to a more likable character. I'm hoping that's the case, man. And shoot, not really any type of predictions for the next couple episodes, but I just really hope that they eventually get into more of this backstory with Jeffrey. I want to know what's going on with Jeffrey and his son that apparently we just found out he had in episode 8. So I'm really getting into this, man. If you're living under a rock or something or just not hip to it yet, you definitely got to go to Peacock and check out Bel Air. Also, on a side note, Peacock is very, they coming up in terms of this, streaming thing. Definitely check out Bel Air for sure. But if you're into comedy, I know this is not about this other show. It's mainly about Bel Air. But if you're into comedy, check out Bust Down as well. Got my man Langston Kerman you might remember him from Insecure. He was the guy who used to do some gay things before dating Molly. I think that was like season 1, maybe season 2. It has Langston Kerman. It has Chris Redd, who is well known from the Saturday Night Live. He's definitely a veteran by now on Saturday Night Live himself, and he's also in Kenan, playing Kenan's brother on that show. And also, one of my favorite rappers that I've been listening to lately, they got Freddie Gibbs in the show. So that's just a side note in itself. The whole season is already out on Peacock. They dropped it all episodes at once. It's only 6 seasons. It's only 6 episodes, so it's a very quick watch if you're into some comedy. At times it can be over the top, but overall I found it hilarious. I hope this is not a one and done season for Bust Down, but nevertheless, that's a topic for another episode. And hey, this is Ryan, and this is just my opinion. Peace.